Right, well, I just had a bit of a false start there. Can anybody hear me? I think we're on. I think we're live. Oh, I think we are. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, got a bit of reverb. Got a bit of reverb. Yes. I was getting a bit worried there because I had a false start. It came up with this thing. It said, "Oh, it can't start the stream because something's failed or something." Hi to everyone. How many have we got? Let's see. We've got about 40 odd people watching. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's well. We're into February already. The year is getting on. So, what did we do in January? Well, we had couple of things in January. It got off to a good start. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if the audio's okay. I'll see if I can tweak it a little bit if it's a bit low. So we started off with the full moon, of course, on when was that? Was it 2nd or 3rd of January, wasn't it, in Liverpool? With the live stream down there in Liverpool. Mark Roscoe Photography could see and hear you. Hi to everyone. Hi to Daz. Hi to Simon, Peter, Hazel, Richard, Audrey, Jay's in the house. Stephanie, Mildred is in the house as well. Yes, we've got quite a crowd in. Goldie as well. So I've not been doing a whole lot this week. I've been away actually. Yeah, I've been away. And funny enough, didn't really get much chance to do any stargazing. In fact, it wasn't really very good weather. Well, it was cloudy all the time anyway. Didn't really get a whole lot of stargazing. Hi to John Healy in the house. We've now got we've got about 60 people watching. That's good. I keep looking down there because I've got two chats going at the moment. Two chat boxes. I've got a backup one just in case. Mr. Maxonian, hi. Eugene McGill was a very good food review with Lee. Yeah, we've been doing a bit of that lately. So I've been busy. Lately, yeah. And if anyone saw the last video I did, the last video a couple of weeks ago now, I've got a couple of lenses. I forgot to mention that I did a video the other week about two different lenses which I've got, which I said I can't keep both of them. Hi to Brummy in the Highlands. But I'll keep both for the time being. Now, there is another thing. See, one of the lenses does actually come in a case, whereas the other one doesn't. So the Sigma lens I've got comes in a case, which makes it much easier to take around. The Nikon one I got didn't come with its own case, so that makes it a little bit more difficult to carry around. Thanks for bringing us an update of the trams. Yeah, no problem at all. I was up in the English Lake District. Yes. The English Lake District. Yes, that's where I was. Yeah. Up in yeah. For most of last week. So that's what I've been up to, yeah. And it is pretty dark in the Lake District as well. Unfortunately, there are quite a few lights around. They have hotels lit up and things like that. Some people have lights on, and within the national park of the Lake District, the Lake District National Park, there are supposed to be orders in place to stop people from having certain kind of lights that shine up into the air. But I didn't really see much evidence of that being, people sort of ignoring that and having lights shining all over the place when it should be really, really dark, and it's not because people are using the wrong type of lights. Hi to Stephen Smith, Sir Fonzie Daz, of course. We've actually got fog here at the moment, and I think it's going to linger until tomorrow morning. So it could be an interesting sunrise tomorrow morning. I've emailed Linda. Can you let me know if you'd write to it? Yeah, I think I saw the email. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah. Michael's here. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Mike Saltzman. Is that right? Starsky, or is that Dark Sky Photography? I'll have to check it out, Michael. Nikon, yes. That's for our American viewers, Nikon. So I'll just show you some pictures because I actually saw the Aurora. Now I did mention in that video, not everyone will have seen it, but last week, almost 2 weeks ago now, we saw the Aurora Borealis. We had a really strong display. It happened almost 2 weeks ago. And I didn't do I could have done a video on it, but I just didn't get time. I was just too busy taking pictures. So I took a lot of pictures of the Aurora. So it was Monday the, what was it, Monday the 16th or something of January. Middle of January, we had a massive solar storm. And that was the picture that I had on it. So I'll just put that picture back on. That picture there I was taking with my phone. You know, it's amazing what you can take with your phone now. Absolutely amazing. You can just hold your phone up and it takes a picture like that. Hi to Lee and Audrey, Spenny Moore. So that picture there was kind of like a test shot really, just to see if there was any colour in the sky when I went outside, and there was. You can see there's green there, but I couldn't actually see the colour. But what I did was, because I'd taken that I wasn't going to go out because I thought it was too cloudy. I thought, oh no, it's too cloudy. There was a lot of cloud around. And I thought, oh, people are saying that the auroras, and someone showed a picture of it from some village nearby. And this picture looked amazing. I thought, I've got to go out. But where can I go? Because when you've got the Aurora Borealis, you can't necessarily see it from the town because you've got a lot of lights. And I live in Blackpool, of course. Now, we're not in the illumination season now, but you still want to get away and go somewhere as dark as possible, possibly to the edge of town, and have a look from there and see if you can see the Aurora. But I got that picture there, and that told me that it's worth going out. So what I did was I went to my local park, Stanley Park. And there's another photograph which I took with my iPhone. It's an iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's got a really good night mode on it. Akash Monster says it was amazing in Wales. Thanks, John Conway. Get yourself up to Newcastle Walk and make a video. Stargaze at Kielder as well. You know, I really want to go to Kielder. I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. Hi to Andrew and Kath in Stoke-on-Trent. Jay says, love my phone camera. Amazing bit of equipment. Yeah, so I'll just show you the camera. It's this one. Oh, hang on. Let me get on. There we are. So this is my camera here. I just used the normal lens. So it's got, you can see it's got 3 lenses on it. Can you see it's got three different cameras. It's basically got a wide angle camera, it's got a normal camera, and it's got a telephoto. So basically the camera, this phone has got 3 different cameras on it. And a lot of other phones are similar. You know, they have different, it's not different lenses necessarily, it's different cameras altogether. So there's a wide angle, normal, and telephoto. The best one to use is the telephoto, not the telephoto, the normal camera, the default camera, because the wide angle camera is not as sensitive to light, and neither is a telephoto. So you want to just use your default. I just use it in default. I just put the camera on, turn it on, and it takes a really, really good picture. So you know, I mean, this picture here, I just held the phone up. It's unbelievable. You know, it's amazing that, isn't it? How it managed to. You can see Blackpool Tower there. If you look down to the bottom left, can you see we've got Blackpool Tower? Michael says that Kielder is awesome. So that's Blackpool Tower, and you can see how the sky's all lit up. You can even see a bit of red there towards the left. So that was taken 2 weeks ago from tomorrow. It was Monday. So tomorrow will be 2 weeks since we had that massive solar storm. Jay said bought the same iPhone because of your recommendation. Wow. I've lived in the Highlands for 17. I've still not seen the Northern Lights. Wow, that's amazing. Well, I've seen the Northern Lights in Scotland. The first time I saw the Northern Lights in Scotland was when I went to the Isle of Skye. And I saw them on the Isle and it was during a full moon as well, which is amazing because a full moon, you would have thought, would block it out. We've got 90 people watching. Hit the like button if you've just joined us, and hit subscribe if you want to see videos of astronomy, astrophotography, all that sort of thing, and live streams as well. I might bring you a live stream of a moonrise or what if I get a chance, you know. Can't always do it, you know. I mean, we've just had a full moon as well, so no chance of getting it at all, unfortunately. Dangerous Wild Arachnids has asked if I will be going to the pyramids in 2027 because we have got one of the biggest solar eclipses for a long time, and that's happening next year, 2027, in August, I think. And it's going to be the maximum eclipse. It's going to be about getting on for 6.5 minutes total eclipse of the sun, for over 6 minutes, which is a really, really long eclipse. That's a long, long eclipse. The one that I saw in Dallas not last year, 2024, lasted about, about 2.5 minutes? No, it was a bit longer than that. It was about 3 minutes, wasn't it? Something like that. So the eclipse in Luxor, of all places, Luxor in Egypt, gets slap bang on the centre line for the eclipse, the great eclipse of 2027, and it's going to be one of the longest eclipses that you can get. Certainly one of the longest eclipses for a long time. Over 6 minutes. That is absolutely incredible. But will we be able to go to Luxor, or will everybody else be there? Is it all booked up? I bet you it's all booked up. And someone like me, I would be interested in going there myself. So I think I could. I think I could go. I'd like to go to Egypt. So, yeah. So, we'll see, won't we? But anyway, for now, we're just talking about the Aurora. So, yeah, I took that picture with my phone. And I think it's it's not a good picture, really, because it's just a pot shot, really. But it just goes to show how good the phones are, doesn't it? Wondering how far did the sky look like that? Yeah, the Aurora did push quite far south, as you can see in that picture. But as I carried on, I decided on the clock tower. Now, I might have shown this on my last video. I don't think everyone will have seen it. Now, that clock tower there is like the focal point of Stanley Park. So we're looking at the south face there, and looking due north. In fact, if you look above the clock tower, you can probably see a bright star. Or is it a speck of dust? That'll be the North Star, directly above the clock tower, because we are looking due north. And Moonage is in the house. Is Moonage here? Someone mentioned Moonage. We didn't see them. So yeah, we're looking north. So, you know, even though I got this picture and I think it's a really good picture, I couldn't actually see the Aurora because there was a lot of wispy cloud around, and the wispy cloud actually helped to kind of filter out the Aurora. Even though it was a very strong display, the wispy cloud that we had around made it not really that possible to see the Aurora. Have you visited the Great Dun Fell by the... No, I haven't, but I always look for it when I'm going up that way. Second highest mountain in England's Pennines. Look amazing for stargazing. Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime. I think someone mentioned Moonage. I can't see Moonage's message. Is Moonage here, or... I can't see the message. Can't see the comment. But yeah, so I think I did a pretty good shot there with the clock tower. Quite pleased with it. It's in the middle of Stanley Park and it was quite dark. And whenever the Aurora's on, you've got to try and get yourself to somewhere as dark as possible. And you can get something. Oh, they're just saying hi just in case. I wondered. That's a different one, isn't it? Oh, I think I took a different one. Look at that one. That one there is... Oh, sorry. So slow down. Right, I'm now on the east side of the clock tower and I'm looking towards the west. So we can see the Aurora still. Look at that there, green and red. And you see that purple down the bottom? That's Blackpool Tower again. So the Aurora is pretty much, as if you look at that picture there, the Aurora is pretty much overhead. It was pretty much getting to overhead. So it was a really, really strong display. It's just a pity that because of the cloud, there was like a lot of light cloud around. We couldn't really... Thanks, Audrey. 96 watching. Can we get to 100? Come on. We can get to 100. We're looking at the Aurora that I got the other week. Absolutely amazing. And hi everyone, it's Molly, Mooney's daughter. Mum can't come in tonight, his phone isn't working, but she says hi to everyone. So Mooney says hi. Unfortunately, she can't join us tonight. The phone's not working. So I think she needs a new phone. Come on, let's get to 100 people watching. You know, I could actually see the green. I could see the green just about. It just look like a glow. You know, you can sometimes, because I've seen the Aurora quite a few times now, and I know what it looks like. I know what to look for. You can usually tell by the glow what it is, but so I've seen it a few times. So it was a really strong display. It just wasn't quite strong enough to break through that, to be able to see it with your eyes properly. You know, it just looked like a bit of the sky looked a bit muddy. Was at Tunstall in East Yorkshire last weekend at Sandley Caravan Park. Amazing stargazing, there's no light pollution. Eugene is watching from Northern Ireland. So we'll just go back to these. Hi to Billy. Billy's just joined us. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I've got a quiz later on. I've had to kind of put a quiz together quickly because hi to Cat's Rule. Cat's Rule is in the house. Because I had a quiz book, but I couldn't find my quiz book. I don't know where it is. So I had to write some questions down quickly. That's the lake. That's the, not the lake. That's the actual the fountain at Stanley Park. So this is a fountain. Now the Aurora, you can see there, I've got the reflection there. We've got the reflection in the water. Very calm as well. Very calm water. Some very bright lights over in the background there, but they didn't spoil the photograph. We've got over 100 watching. If you've just joined us, hit the like button. We're just looking at our Aurora pictures. Hi to Mark, Melanie. Love you, Stephen. Never miss your vlogs. Thank you so much. Molly says that we will get her phone sorted and she will be here for the next one. That's Moonage. Thanks, Dutch Smith, sorry. So I got that one. It had actually died down a bit by the time I took that. And then I was on the way out of the park and I took that one. And it had actually died back a bit. Again, that's just a photograph. That's just a quick pot shot, really. By the way, the clock tower one was taken with my main camera. That there was taken with my main camera, not a phone. So that was actually taken using my proper camera, not taken with the phone. But to be honest, I think the phone probably would have done a half decent job, really. Hi to Daniel Butterworth from Somerset, the Butterworth. Hope we didn't get flooded down there because I saw a news story and it showed a load of flooding in Somerset and I thought, my goodness, look at that there. Wow, there was some major flooding down there. We've got over 100 watching. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's see where we're up to. We've got 67 likes at the moment. I hope I don't lose this chat. Let's see if we can get up to... So, it's going up, it's going up. Yes, it's going up. Hi, Stephen. Beautiful photos. We were over Keswick on Friday, and it gets really dark over. Is it likely you can see the Aurora from there? Oh yeah, I've seen the Aurora from Keswick. That's Justine. Yeah. Catskill's got 21 inches of snow. My goodness. We don't even get snow here. Simon Caldwell is in the house. Hi to Simon. So that's Stanley Park Clock Tower, which I got the other week. 2 weeks ago. Now that picture there was when we had a mammoth solar storm back in 2024. And this one was from, I think it was from October. We had two. We had two in 2024. One in May and one in October. I think this was the October one. Thanks to Molly. Thank you, Molly. Did you get any good photos in Ulverston? No, not really. I didn't really have time to do photographs. But again, this picture here was taken with my main camera. I just put it on a tripod and turned it round towards me and just stood up. That's how bright the Aurora was. It was mega bright. I think I had a light lighting me up as well. The exposure was just a few seconds. A little bit annoying because there's a wire going across the background, like a telephone wire or something going across there. I thought there was a scratch on the screen then. So that was from 2024, the Great Solar Storm of October 2024. The other one was in May, so we had a good year. So we're now into February. We've now got, I would say, February, March. We've got another 2 good months, I'd say, maybe 3 if you go into April, possibly into April in the UK, before we start to lose the darkness. So we've got plenty of time to see more Aurora displays. The sun is still kicking off. I was going to say, I was going to have a look. I use an app called Aurora Watch UK. Aurora Watch UK. And that's a really good app because it tells you when the Aurora is kicking off. It tells you how strong it's going to be and whether it's worth going out to have a look. It tells you if you can see it with your eye or if you could just photograph it. Because there are times when it's not strong enough to see by the eye, but you can photograph it. The first few times I saw the Aurora was when I could just photograph it. I couldn't necessarily see it with my eye. But there you go. That's it. So there's still plenty of time to see the Aurora Borealis yet. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on it. My eye on the levels. There's another one there, look. Same time, 2024. That's a picture of the motorway. And that picture was looking sort of northwest. Kind of northwest, I would say. And we can see the service station, Lancaster service station, with the tower there, the Pennine Tower they call it, and the Aurora. So yeah, it's a very popular spot, that, actually. I like to go there to do the traffic trails. Solar Storm October 2020. I was out all night in South. Yeah, no, I was out most of the night as well. So that's looking northwest. And you've got the green down there, which is the oxygen. And you've got the purple, which is, I don't know. I just know that the green is probably the brightest of the Aurora. It's the most low down. Look at that there with the Starbus. That's me on the Starbus. I plonked the camera down. Not taken with the phone, this. Although I could have took it with the phone. I probably could have done, This phone is pretty good. I was saying before that the phones are quite good. at taking low light photographs now. Beyond Every Valley, hi. Helen Tack, hi. Just saying, so, I might have already said hi. Hi to Greg from Dallas, where I saw the total solar eclipse of 2024. What an eclipse that was. Nitrogen, yeah. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, the colours are amazing, aren't they? So just going back to the total solar eclipse, so I went to Dallas, and if you saw my video, if you haven't seen my video, look back to 2024, and it was in April. Just go on videos, and you can see my total solar eclipse video in Dallas. It was a little bit touch and go, but it all turned out. In fact, if you just go on the home page of my channel, it just comes up, the video comes up straight away. So whenever you go to see a total solar eclipse, whether it's going abroad, Simon's going to Iceland next month, hoping for some action. Well, I wish you luck. I went to Iceland in February, and this was in 2019. It's a long time ago now, and the weather was not very good, and we didn't see the Aurora at all. The weather was pretty terrible for most of the time. When it was nice weather, the Aurora wasn't kicking off, but it did kick off at some point, but we just couldn't see it. So we were a little bit unlucky in Iceland, and I was almost unlucky in Dallas, but you'll have to watch the video to see. Because when you go to see a total solar eclipse, you have to decide where to go. There's lots of places you can go. Sometimes a total solar eclipse can be off limits. It could be in the sea, or it could be up in the Arctic or somewhere, and you might not have a very good chance of seeing it. Or you might not even be able to get to the locations, because some of these locations where you can actually see eclipses are like you need to get an expedition to see them. But even if you pick a location like I did, I picked Dallas, and in 2017 we went to Wyoming. You can never be 100% sure that you're going to get clear weather. Now, the interesting thing about the eclipse of this year, in August this year, which crosses Spain, northern Spain, is that the sun is going to be low down when it gets eclipsed. I know someone who's going to Mallorca. Now, that's an island that's off the coast of Spain in the Mediterranean. When the eclipse gets to Mallorca, which it will, totality goes over the island of Mallorca. Thanks, Beyond Every Valley. 106 watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Where are we up to? Let's just check. The thing about this year's eclipse is that it's going to be low down if you're in Spain. Spain is going to be probably the most popular place to see it. Now, I hear that you can see it in Iceland, or I think you can just about see it in Iceland. I'm not too sure. Reykjavik possibly. But the best place to be is probably going to be northern Spain or Mallorca. Now, the only thing is, I mentioned, is that the sun is going to be low. It's going to be very low. It's going to be close to setting. Now, I've never seen an eclipse. Well, I've only seen two eclipses, and it's both been when the sun is really high up. Now, this eclipse is going to be a bit different because it's going to be when it's low down. And it's not going to be a long eclipse either. It's only going to be just about 2 minutes, maybe a bit longer. I don't know. My late mum had a villa in Mallorca, Spain. It's spelt Mallorca, isn't it? Mallorca, where you can see plenty of stars. Thanks for that, Daz. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to heading to, hopefully, I don't know whether to go to northern Spain. I've been looking at videos and they're saying about cloud cover. Now, there's a really good website actually for eclipses. I've just been looking. I used to look at mreclipse.com, but I think it's Fred Espinac has now passed away. He was the guy who pretty much seen every eclipse for the last 30 years. He's ex-NASA guy, and he passed away last year. But I think his website continues, and it's called Mr. Eclipse, but it is very technical. It predicts eclipses for the next, 50 to 100 years. But there's another website which I've found, which I think is probably a bit better and seems a bit more easy to use, and that's called, I think it's called Eclipse file, and it's really good. It gives you maps and everything. It tells you all about cloud cover. It goes into a lot of detail. So Eclipse file, I think, is a good website. Let's just see if I can catch up on. I'll just put some pictures on you while I catch up on some messages. We'll be having the quiz fairly soon. I've just not been reading the messages. Hi from Hull, says Flumpy's Adventures. Hi to Dave Muirhead. Just trying to catch up. So we've got over 100 watching. If you just joined us, hit the like button. George has had to go. Bye to George. Yeah, so I am hoping to. Well, no, I'm not hoping to. I'm going. Hi to Jim Vaughan. And that's from the Becky Masters. Mouse Charger is in the house. Sightseeing Sai is here. As we look at my Aurora pictures from 2024 October. I think that was another phone shot, that. Look at that there. Wow. That was amazing. And you know what? When I took that photograph there, I could actually see the Aurora quite easily. It was so easy to see. You could even see the colour as well. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. October 2024. So yeah, there's a chance that we'll get to see more. We've got another, like I said, we've got another good couple of months of dark skies. The problem is when we get into April, we start to get the longer days, and we get less night, less as we go towards the end of April. When we get into May, we don't even get here, well, where I am anyway, at this latitude, we don't even get any darkness. Once we get into May, that's pretty much it then. Well, you can still see the Aurora. I mean, it might get dark enough to see the Aurora even in May if it's a strong display. So like I say, it was May when we saw the Aurora. I said it was May. So even though it doesn't get properly dark, we did have that display in early May, which was so strong we could still see it in May. So you can see the Aurora in May. I'll be having the quiz soon. Oh, get ready. Hi to Wendy Darling. Core of the Milky Way. Palma Mallorca looks like the best place for the 20 dead centre of the path, yeah. Well, I know someone who's going. Maybe I should book for Mallorca, what do you think? Now then, that picture was taken looking straight up in the sky. October 2024. Absolutely incredible. Hi to Jonathan Nicholson. So that was an incredible display. Look at that. You could actually see it moving. You could see it moving. It was incredible. Hi to Sean Hemming's mum. Hi to Irene in Tipton. Yeah, so it looks like I'll be booking a trip to Mallorca. It's incredible, isn't it? Look. You can even see Orion on that picture. If you look at that picture there now, look towards the lower right hand side. Can you see Orion there near the bottom? Can you see the belt stars? You see the 3 belt stars there? Just to the right of the red, the bottom where the red patch is, you can see Orion. There it is. So that was looking towards the south, believe it or not, the southeast. We were looking south and seeing the Aurora. Can you believe it? That's how strong it was. Absolutely amazing. And then I did a panorama. Oh, there you go. That's a panorama, that, of the Aurora. Now, one thing I've thought about is, can you see the curve of the Earth in the Aurora? I believe you can, because if you look at the curtain effect there, the way that it goes from leaning to the left on the left towards leaning to the right on the right, you can see the curve. I believe that that's the curve of the Earth. So I haven't actually read that anywhere. I don't know if it's wrote up about that anywhere, but I do believe that the Aurora does show the curve of the Earth, because that's what it seems to be doing there to me. The way the magnetic field lines are coming in, they're coming in straight down, and as you go across the sky like that, you get to see them coming straight down. But obviously, as the curve of the Earth goes around, it shows the curve. So I haven't actually read that anywhere, but I do believe that we are seeing the curve of the Earth there in the magnetic field, because that is the magnetic field. It's a bit like, you know how you can't see the wind? You can't see the wind, can you? But if you put a load of smoke up, if you put a load of smoke, you can see the wind then, can't you? You can see the smoke blowing. It makes you see the wind effectively. So in a way, we're kind of seeing the magnetic field lines of the Earth when we see the Aurora. We're getting to see the magnetic field lines. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, that was Jubilee Tower, Martin. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to be looking into. I wasn't planning on going to Mallorca, but I think I probably will do now, because I've looked at northern Spain for the. We've got 110 watching. Hit the thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe if you've just joined us or you're new to the channel. But yeah, the total solar eclipse this year, I think it's on the 12th of August. It also coincides with the Perseid meteor shower. So we're going to have the moon blocking the sun, a total solar eclipse. And on that night, if I'm correct, I might be a little bit off, but we will also have the peak, or the night after, we will also have the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. It'll be perfect, because the moon is a new moon, because it's in front of the sun. So the moon is not going to be a problem this year for the Perseid meteor shower, because it's going to be in the way of the sun, because we're going to have a total solar eclipse. So I'll probably head to Mallorca for it. I've never been to Mallorca. The only problem is, like I say, the sun is going to be low. It's going to be very close to setting when it gets eclipsed. So that is going to be. I don't know. I hope cloud doesn't get in the way. I hope cloud doesn't get in the way, because it can do when it's low down. But yeah, it's Richard says the Earth isn't flat. Thanks, Wendy, darling. Does it feel colder or warmer? Funny enough, whenever I see the Aurora, I don't know why, but it always feels warm. I think it's just because I get so excited about seeing it that it kind of warms me up. Because when I went out to take the pictures, when I showed you these pictures before, I kind of just, I wasn't dressed to go out. I only had like very light clothing on, and I just threw on some walking shoes and went out. And I managed to get these pictures here, but I wasn't prepared to be out in the cold. But funny enough, I didn't really feel that cold, so it's strange, really, isn't it? You seem to forget about the cold, I think, when you're excited. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Anyway, we have now got a quiz. Type 1 if you want the quiz. Type 1 if you're ready for the quiz. I've had to kind of knock one up, because I was supposed to be reading it from a book, but I can't find the book, can I? So I'll just leave you with that a minute. Oh, 114 watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've just joined us. Everyone's typing 1. Now, part of these quiz questions are about the moon. So the first part is about the moon. The sun will appear very large if it's close to the horizon. Yeah, it will. It's a bit like the moon, isn't it? When it's down low, it always looks bigger, doesn't it? So everyone's typing 1. Right, okay, so here we go. We're ready for the quiz. I'm going to have a drink of water, I'm afraid. Just let me have a drink of water. Right, okay, just give us a second. Oh my goodness, my voice is taking a hit. Drink of water. Right, okay, where are we? Right, okay, first question. In what phase is the moon right now? So in what phase is the moon in right now? Let's put you on that picture there. I took that picture from the top of Jubilee Tower, where I took this one from. Well, I took all these from the same place. It's like a little castle. It's a folly built in the Victorian times. People go up there, little ladders. There was probably like a little room inside it at one time. Now we've got some answers coming in. So I'll just check the answers. Jay says he's got a 20-second lag, so the quiz is no good. Beyond Every Valley says full. MD says new. Hazel says full. Well, it's close to full, not quite. It was actually full on Saturday. So we actually had a full moon on Saturday. We had a full moon. So if it's past the full moon, what is it? Just don't think anyone's got the exact right answer. Martin almost got it. Kevin's got it. Gibbous, yeah. The first person to get it, the full answer was Beyond Every Valley. Waning gibbous. So if it's just gone past full, it starts to wane. So there's less sunlight on it from our perspective. There's always the same amount of sunlight on the moon, always. But apart from an eclipse, of course. But what from our perspective, we get to see all the phases because of it going around the Earth. Oh, I've got another question. Will there be a full moon in February? Interesting. Will there be a full moon in February? So we're into February now, aren't we? But will we have a full moon? Can we have a full moon this February? And if not, why not? Western Canada. Wendy darling. Why can't I say that? Well, we've got a few yeses and a few nos. I'll just check. Snow moon. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, it's a snow moon, isn't it, for February? For no, it's a snow moon. That the last moon was a snow moon. Snow moon today. Some people saying yes, some people saying no. We've got only 28 days. Richard's got it. Richard's right, yeah. No, not this month, because we had the full moon on Saturday, which was the last day of January. And because there's only 28 days in February, it wouldn't be possible to have a full moon again in February, because it takes 29.5 days for a full moon to become full again. So there wouldn't be enough time in February, this February anyway. It doesn't mean you can't get a full moon in February, it's just this year there's not enough time for it to get back to being full again. The actual next full moon is going to be, it's going to be March, just checking now, I think it's March the 3rd. Early March the 3rd is going to be the next full moon. Right, let's just check how many people are watching. Oh, we've still got over 100 people. It's not bad. Yeah, question number 3. What will the March moon be called? You know how they have titles for the moon? So, last one was a snow moon. The first moon of the year was the wolf moon. What's the moon next month going to be? Hi to Betadik Bates. It is a short month, yeah. I mean, even if it was a leap year, it wouldn't be long enough. 29 days. It wouldn't be long enough to have another full moon after that last one. Right, we've got some answers coming in. March's full moon is going to be called... I've taken pictures of it as well in March. It's going to be called the worm moon, and it was Martin that got it right first. Goldie. The worm moon. Someone said blood moon. Well, there is actually an eclipse. There is going to be a blood moon next month, but I don't think we're going to get to see it here. I think you have to be towards the east. So yeah, there is going to be a blood moon. It is going to be eclipsed in March, but I don't think we're going to be able to see it from here. I will check up on that though. I will have to check up on that. But it is the worm moon. The reason why it's called the worm moon is because that's when the worms start to come up out of the ground, because I think they must hibernate through the year, and then they start to make their way up through the ground in March, and that's why they call it the worm moon. Right, question number 4. When is it best to stargaze? Is it best to stargaze when there's a full moon, or is it best to stargaze when there's no moon around? So when is it best to stargaze? If you go to any ask any astronomer, when would you like to stargaze during a full moon or with no moon? So what do you think that most of them would say? Not all of them might say, so there might be some that say, oh, well, I like the moon because I like to look at the moon. If you like to look at the moon, you can look at the moon. But I'm actually talking about stargazing. So, yeah, so let me know what you think. Oh, everyone's saying no moon. Yep, it's the right answer. That was a fairly easy one, that one. I think it was MD. It's not showing his full name. MDI something. No moon. Got that one right. Stephen Smith said it. Martin said it. Lee Robert, Mildred, Mouse. Oh, Mouse Georgia said full moon. You must be a moon watcher, Mouse. Audrey Harding, no moon. Dave, no moon. Stephanie Catteringham, no moon. Yeah, you don't want the moon in the way when you're stargazing. I mean, it doesn't have to be like obviously a full moon. We can handle a quarter moon or like a crescent. But yeah, if you want to go stargazing or see the Milky Way, you don't really want to have the moon around. Try to avoid them. Frank in Blackpool is in the house. Yes, you're right, Wendy darling. No moon is better than any moon. So that was the answer to that one. Got one more on the moon. Now, I've mentioned that we've got a lunar eclipse next month, but I don't think we can see it from here. We've also got the total solar eclipse later in the year. Which is longer? Is a lunar eclipse longer or is a solar eclipse longer? So what lasts longer? A lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse? It is very foggy, Frank. Yeah, I went out before. We've actually got a lot of fog where I am at the moment. It's very, very foggy. So which is longer? We've got some answers coming in. We've got one from Stephen Smith. I think Stephen Smith is the first one to get it right with a lunar eclipse. Mouse Charger says lunar. Beyond Every Valley lunar. Frank in Blackpool lunar. Cat's Rule says lunar. Goldie lunar. Brummie in the Highlands lunar, yeah. A lunar eclipse does last quite a lot longer than a... For instance, I'm talking about the whole phase from start to finish, from the minute that the moon starts to go into shadow until it goes off the shadow. That can take hours and hours. It can take 5 to 6 hours. But a total solar eclipse, from the very start that the moon touches the sun till it goes off, that can take up to 2 hours. So a lunar eclipse is a lot longer than a solar eclipse, and the reason is because the Earth going in the way of the sun, it's got a much bigger shadow. You can imagine the shadow is massive, whereas the moon's shadow on the Earth is tiny. It's like a little, it's like a little dot, and that's why your eclipse doesn't. Certainly your totality. 6 minutes is about the most you can get for a total solar eclipse. 6.5, 7 minutes. But a lunar eclipse can actually last almost 2 hours. Totality. The total lunar eclipse can last so long. Right. So, and I like lunar eclipses as well. If you look back on my channel to, I think it's 2024, go back to April, you get to see a partial lunar eclipse, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I saw it in the Lake District. It was unbelievable. Right, I've got some more questions now. Now these are actually old questions. Those were new ones I just wrote before. I think they were pretty good actually. I didn't do too bad for a beginner. Can Aurora be seen in twilight? So can you see the aurora in a twilight sky? Mouse Charger faints because you got one right. Lunar eclipses last longer, yeah, Justina. That's right, yeah. Got answers coming. Can you see the aurora? So could you see this if it was twilight? I think it depends really. I think yes, you can. The answer is yes. You can see the aurora in twilight. It just depends how strong it is. If it's strong as that, you can see it. So Beyond Every Valley, I think, was the first one to get it right. Said yes. Frank in Blackpool said yes. Dutch Smith says yes. So yeah, you can see the aurora. So as we go into May, even though we start to lose the darkness, we can still have a chance to see the aurora because we saw it in May in 2024 because it was so strong. So it all depends on how strong the aurora is. I mean, if it's as strong as that, yeah. Question number 2. How far south can the aurora be seen? This question might be a little bit. How far south? How far south in the northern hemisphere? How far south did you get it? Well, I know we've had it in the south of England. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could see it in Portsmouth. Well, I've never seen pictures of it taken in Paris. Someone said, well, Frank in Blackpool said Paris. I've never seen a picture of the aurora in Paris. I think it's probably because it's so lit up. Because you'd be lucky to get a picture because of the light pollution. That's the problem with the light pollution. It's hard to get a picture of the aurora in a town centre or a city centre because of the light pollution. It would just drown it all out. Well, in the UK, we've had the aurora right down to the south coast, which is about 50 degrees north. It's 40 degrees south of the North Pole. Um, you can get it right on the south coast, yeah. You can get it right down there, yeah. I think in America it's a bit different. Equator, Cat's Rule says, no, I don't think anyone's ever seen the aurora on the equator. I might be wrong. But generally, the aurora only comes down to roughly sort of northern Scotland area, Canada, the very far north of North America, Alaska, northern Russia, places like that. Generally, that's where the aurora tends to be. Only when you get really strong display does it come further south. And it can go as far south as the south of England. It can go into the continent. It can go into France. You can see it in France. I've even heard in America of people seeing the aurora in Florida and down in right low down, yeah, Texas even I've heard. And that's probably helped by the fact that the magnetic north is closer to North America. It's closer to Canada, so you can actually effectively see it further south. I think I did another drink. Right, another question. What causes the aurora? What is it that causes the aurora? Oh, I need another drink. Mm. Oh my goodness. Greg, beginning with the front. New moon, Bode's galaxy near Ursa Major may be visible. Oh, I'll be looking out for that. 35 to 45 degrees to the south, according to Google. Cat's Rule said that they've seen it at 35 degrees north. Wow, that is incredible. See, that is very, very far south, isn't it? It's a lot further south than where we are, so you can see it quite far south. Charged particles hitting the Earth's atmosphere at high speed, says Goldie. Solar storm, says Audrey. Yep. Solar wind, says Stephen. Frank in Blackpool, the solar wind and our magnetic fields interacting. Mouse Charger says stars bouncing off each other. That would be interesting. With Earth's magnetic field north moving, I wonder. Solar storm. Richard. I think it was MDI V5OI that got it first. Solar wind. Frank's using Google Gemini. He said it was one of the strongest in 20 years. The aurora was photographed as far south as Florida. I said Florida, didn't I? The Canary Islands and Mexico. Wow. That sounds amazing. Jay says bass ale sounds delicious. Yeah, they used to sell it in America as well, but they don't now. It is. Okay, can anybody tell me what a Steve is? And it's not, doesn't mean me. What is a Steve? I saw one. Now, when did I see one? Was it 3 years ago? I won't tell you where I saw one because I'll ask you the question after. but I saw a Steve. Steve. Hazel said, Frank, I got some fab pictures in 24. Was amazed to see them near Rotherham. Wow. So Hazel got some pictures of the Aurora. CME, yeah, a coronal mass ejection. That's what hits the Earth, yeah. It's like material coming off the sun, and it hits the magnetic field. And when it hits the magnetic field, it stretches it, and it kind of twists it and pushes it and does all sorts of stuff. Solar transit event. That's not a bad answer, that actually. It's a pity I can't show you the picture because I have got a really good picture of it, Steve. It's a bit like the Aurora, but it's not the Aurora. So it stands for. I don't think anyone's got it. Steve stands for. Jay's got it. Strong thermal emission velocity enhancement. I'm sure they made it say Steve, didn't they? They do that, don't they? They do it deliberately. Strong thermal emission velocity. It's a bit like a. It's hard to. I'll have to show you a picture sometime, but it's like a big sort of arc across the sky that's lit up. It's amazing. Now, what's the last question? Because I think it's connected. Where did I witness? Can anybody remember where I saw a Steve? Where was it where I saw a Steve? It wasn't here in Blackpool. We might have been able to see it here in Blackpool, but not. It would have been a bit difficult because of all the light pollution, because we do have a lot of light pollution. And if you want to see the Aurora, you're better off travelling somewhere away from town if you live in a town. Oh dear. Oh, the answers are coming in. Yeah, CMEs, coronal mass ejection. Richard says Scotland. Well, it's a good choice. Wasn't Scotland though. Lake District. Lee Robert. Yeah, first one in. Audrey says the Lake District. Lake District beyond every valley. Mouse Charger says the Isle of Skye. Well, I have seen the Aurora on the Isle of Skye, and I'm looking to go back sometime. In fact, when I saw the Aurora on the Isle of Skye, it was a full moon, and we still saw the Aurora. Kevin, Lake District. Bitcoin Wolf Club says Houston. Scotland, Daz. On the comedy carpet says Jay. Akash Monsters got it perfect. Windermere. Yes, I was at Windermere. In the Lake District, and that's where I saw the Steve. It was amazing. I got some pretty good pictures. That night, yeah. Wasn't planning on seeing the Aurora, but I saw the amount of times I've been out stargazing. I've gone out for something, and the Aurora's just, lit up the sky. It's like in 2024 when I went to the Lake District, and this was a different. I did a video on this. It was a video about. Well, I was going to do a video about stargazing, and I changed it to the Aurora because the Aurora started kicking off, and I changed my mind on the video. Oh my goodness, folks, my voice is going. But we're now past 9 o'clock, and that was the quiz. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks for all the mods. The twins, Castor and Pollux. Yeah, Jupiter is actually, if you look at Jupiter is in Gemini at the moment. So if you want to see Gemini, look for Jupiter. You can't miss it. Look towards the east. Is it towards the east? Yeah, it's just. No, it's actually more towards the southeast at the moment, early on, then it kind of moves through the sky. But yeah, look towards Jupiter because you'll see Gemini. You'll see the two stars of the twins. Right. Okay. Right. Someone's saying it's full moon tonight. It was actually full moon on Saturday. Although it does look like it will look like a full moon. It will look like a full moon, although it isn't. Oh, just turn this off. Thanks, Audrey. Yeah, so that's it for this week. Thanks for everyone for joining in. I'm hoping that I will get back out again sometime and bring you some stargazing live outside. Maybe a moonrise. You never know. I'll have to look up next month's moon and see if there's any chance of us seeing any of this eclipse. I don't know yet. I'll also have to look into booking my trip to Mallorca so I can see the total solar eclipse. Hopefully. Never guarantee it. I mean, you only have to look at my video on Dallas when I went to Dallas. Oh, it was a bit touch and go, that one. Oh, have a look at the video anyway. But that's it for this week. Thanks for everyone for joining in. I will see you again next week. Thanks to all the mods as well. I'll just leave you with some pictures. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks everyone for joining in.